So there is one person here in this room that every other person working here in the Beau Rivage knows, which is Nathalie Seiler-Hayez, who is the former Hello, Nathalie. So Nathalie was the manager of this beautiful place, the Hotel Beau Rivage, in which we all enjoy tonight the dinner, during 7 years before taking over now your new position as CEO of Swiss Deluxe Hotels. You have a long career in hotel management. But first, you started by graduating at the Hotel Management School here in Lausanne. And then you went to Paris, Hotel Lutetia. Then you relocated to New York. Great experience. But before 9/11 happened, you saw it live. So after a few reflections, you decided to come back to Europe. You came back and were then appointed back in Paris at the Radisson Blu Champs-Élysées Hotel. You supervised the opening of the Intercontinental Hotel also in Bordeaux. In 2010, you assumed the renowned Connaught in London, and then you came back to Switzerland, and you were named Hotelier of the Year in the Sonntagszeitung Hotel Rating of 2018. Under your management, this place here, the Beau Rivage, was named Hotel of the Year, Gomio, in 2022. Congrats for all of that, and let's pass on to questions. You were recently published in the Elle magazine also, and you talked about your job, your activities, and you mentioned the name of being somehow a marchand de bonheur. So here my question is, what are your strategies to make sure that the hotel that you manage, that you'll continue to manage, how do you make sure that they stay marchand de bonheur, that they stay relevant, and also that they are those renowned places?
Yeah, actually, it's a large question, but I want to say, so first of all, when you arrive in a place, sometimes in a new country, and it is very important to understand the local market, where you are, what's the country you're in, how does the local market work, what's the DNA of the property, what's the history, what is the heritage, because one of your job is going to be able to make sure to maintain a good balance between heritage and modernity. So once you understand it, then I think it's really key to build a vision. Yeah. Vision, mission, purpose, all of that is so important because I think you need clarity. And it's something that you are going to build together with your team. And then at some point, it needs to go from top to bottom. It cannot stay at the top. Very often, you have wonderful vision and you have great leaders, but they have no clue or they just forget to bring the vision down to the staff. And for example, here at the Beau Rivage, we had 450 employees. It's a lot, and I think it's your responsibility as a leader to make sure that you will take time and energy to bring this vision further down in your organization. As an example, if you go and talk to a housekeeper, if you say to the housekeeper, you need to clean the room because the guest wants, because that's your job, how boring is that? Now, if you talk to the housekeeper and you look at her and you say, look, you're going to be the little angel who is going to contribute to make the stay of the guest very special, memorable sometimes, because maybe a gentleman is going to ask a lady to get married. And she's going to contribute to this special moment. So suddenly her vision is going to be completely different. So I think as a leader, you need to create a place where people can be empowered, can really be themselves. And whether you're a woman or not, I think it's really about making sure that people are empowered. That's also very key because so often you have people in cages. They are afraid, and I think a good leader is here to inspire and to bring harmony and to make the place and happy place. And it's not Mickey Mouse here. You can, of course, look at your P&L and know what to do, how. But at the end, I think if you invest in your people, you're here to develop them and to show them the way, empower them, then this is where the magic comes from. Because in hotels, yes, you need to invest in your design, in your product, but the most important resources are your staff, and you need to really invest in the people. Then, of course, when you talk about strategy, you have to look at how you're going to embrace technology, how is artificial intelligence going to impact hospitality, how you're going to use it to stay connected with the guests, to better understand guests' needs, and etc. How you're going to bring sustainability in your organization. So all of that is definitely key. Another point that is very important to mention, I would say, how to continue to create desirability. This is, I think, every luxury brand is thinking of that, and that's very important. You're not going to say, oh, I give you 50% off. No, you're killing your brand. So I think creating desirability, investing in people, and having a very clear and a vision that is effectively communicated.
So we also know in the hotel there are structures, it's quite hierarchical, and this is not always what people long to, and what they want is more flexibility, working at different timings. There are a couple of constraints, so how do you also make it sure to be attractive, talking about this so important stuff?
Yeah, I think the world is changing, and we were talking before about the new generation and also about how you attract women. So, of course, flexible work is possible. We always say in hotel, oh, you cannot do it. This is wrong. I think as a leader, if you decide this is your priority, of course it goes. It might cost you a little bit on your P&L, but then look at the cost of your turnover and recruitment. You're going to save money on a long term anyway.
Thanks a lot. So here we have questions of the public, and thanks a lot. So how do you keep the entire identity of the place to make sure that it's not one more palace between or amongst the others? What is this uniqueness?
Yeah, I think the uniqueness of a palace, I mean, first of all, okay, there is the location that you cannot change. But then we go back to the people, and we go back to making sure that you're going to provide a memorable service, and that this whole guest journey, managing an hotel and making it happen, is that you have tons of little details that needs to work all together. And so it's making sure that this guest journey just go the way it should. As an example, if your chauffeur is taking you from the airport, everything's fine, you have a nice welcome, you arrive at the reception, everything is great, you're greeted, you're recognized, suddenly you go down to the spa, you have a receptionist, bad day, boom. The whole experience suddenly is not at the top, is no longer, you are a little bitter. So that cannot happen. So you need to make sure that it all works. So I think it's really being with your staff, empowering people, and I think that's very important. We are creating experiences, we are creating emotions, and for that, if people are in a box and cannot express themselves, then it won't work.
Yeah. So here another question we had is, what were the 2 CSR initiatives that you implemented that you're most proud of?
Ooh, that's... I think we still have a lot to do on that. I think we have done a lot, mostly on the social side of the CSR. We have created groups around you at the hotel, because it's at the beginning sustainability and CSR, where you just had a little office next to the reception with a lady or a man who had no power in the organization and who was supposed to make it happen. So suddenly you need to bring it into your culture, and that takes a lot of time and of course a lot of energy as well. So I would say on the social side, at the Beau Rivage Palace, we have done a lot with Planète Enfants Malades, as an example, and that has been an organization that we have followed on many, many sides. A lot of our staff members were just really implicated with the organization, and and a lot has been done with that. And I think, in hospitality, we still have, for now, I would say we are still in the beginner's process, and we still have to learn maybe from other brands and having the right guidance.
Right. Thanks a lot. So here, as the CEO of the Lux Hotel, could you share your vision for the organization?
Well, this is Swiss Deluxe Hotels. We group the 39 best property of Switzerland. This is really the crème de la crème, and the idea is really to defend and fight for Swiss luxury hospitality internationally. Then the idea is really also to bring a platform of inspiration and exchange to all of the different property and use this intelligence, this collective intelligence to find solutions together. The world is changing fast. The hospitality depends so much on the economy, and so we need to be adaptable, agile, and I think such an organization is here really to help hotelier thinking a little bit out of the box and having a better, maybe, helicopter view.
Thanks. Here again, a question, I think we addressed it a bit on what is your view about the current crisis in terms of recruitment in the hotel industry?
Yeah, there's a huge crisis that has started. I mean, that was really, that started very badly after COVID. And I think we really need to create desirability for the hospitality again. And it looks like it's getting better now. We have more volume. It means we can now find staff in general, but not qualified staff. So I think the industry has we have to look at ourselves and change also our processes. You were mentioning, Sonia, that we had very vertical organization. We need flatter organization. We need really to change the way we are doing. And I think that takes as well a lot of time.
Great. Thanks a lot, Nathalie.
Thank you.
Thank you.